It's time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure. So let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode of the Up North Journal podcast is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Scentlock Technologies,
Scent Blocker,
Rambo Bikes,
Hunter's Blend Coffee,
Limwalker Game Calls,
Stanislawski Releases,
Copper John Sights,
Easy Cut Outdoor Products,
Fourth Arrow Camera Arms,
Wind Sense Hunting Sense,
X-Stand Tree Stands,
Spot Shooters,
Gut Check Indicators,
and Packermax Cultipackers. And don't forget you can catch us in syndication at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on goodtalkradio.com. Welcome back to another episode of the Up North Journal podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Adams, sitting in the cabin tonight on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. First weekend in May, and Dan is busy typing and sharing as we speak, so hopefully he'll have that done here in just a second.
And it should be just a second. All right.
Okay,
good.
You're all set?
I am good. And yes, it's a beautiful sunny evening.
It is.
I think I got some sun today.
You did.
That's what happens when you're crawling around your roof and all that happy stuff.
That's good. Before we get started, though, tell the good people about Hunter's Blend.
Absolutely. You should go over because they are a proud supporter of Up North Journal.
And you can see right there.
That's right.
The UNJ promo
If you want to go over to huntersblendcoffee.com, check them out. They've got a couple of good blends out there. They got some swag you can purchase.
That's right. Cups like these.
Right. And use our promo code right over there, capital UNJ, and you'll get 10% off when you cash out.
There you go.
So check them out for us.
Good deal. huntersblendcoffee.com.
There you go.
So what's going on, man?
Nothing. The big ball of sun was out. I did some yard work yesterday and today. Mm-hmm. Got to clean up the yard after the winter. It's been a little wet these last few weeks in Michigan.
It has. Derek, stay tuned for your question. I just saw it. We will answer that. Hey, Randy Duncan. You know, I did bury the tractor this past week in the backyard.
Yes, you did.
I had to hook the Jeep to it and drag it out of the mud hole. The grass was deep and didn't see that there was water there until it was too late.
I tell you what,
Up north's dry, though.
Is it really?
Yeah. I didn't have any issues up north. It was dry.
I think the UP where my area is, it looks like they got hammered with a lot of rain. I'm not sure, but I tell you what, the streams around here,
they're high.
They're high, and when we took our little trip to Indiana on Tuesday,
they're high.
That river was actually not just the river, but that low area.
Yeah, it was flooded.
It was flooded.
Yeah, in northern there at Elkhart.
It kind of reminded me of a Lincoln Roan, Illinois lease.
Ah, yeah. Hey, Nico, what's going on, man? Glad you could join in tonight. Take a listen.
Yeah. So it's good to actually walk out your door and not swim, freeze, need a coat.
I actually did mow the yard today when I got back home. So,
and Home Depot was a madhouse.
Okay.
So, but other than that, it's good to be back in the cabin.
What do you want to talk about tonight?
Tim Cius is joining us.
Hey, Tim.
And I would like to thank Tim Cius for the, shall we say, Facebook comedy that we were reading.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a nice post, Tim. Over on his page, I can't remember if that was on your personal page, Tim, or if that was over on Limwalker's Game Calls page. But Tim posted that he would like to see West Virginia go to an all-day turkey hunt instead of just a morning turkey hunt. Did we used to have that here in Michigan at one time? Not to my knowledge.
As long as that you've been taking me and you got me into it, it's always been all day.
Yeah.
Now, if it was before that, we'd have to talk to a Jim Miller.
Yeah. So,
I can't remember. I think we did ask him that. I don't think he mentioned.
I don't remember, but anyway, he got into a nice little discussion over there.
He did. It was worth 1,000 words.
But
anyways, let's talk about what we did in the beginning of the week.
Well, okay. So,
and then we'll get to what happened with you yesterday.
So we made a little trip.
We did. We went southwest from here. Mm-hmm. Southwest. We jumped in the cabin at 7. Or we jumped in the
cabin.
Truck. We jumped in the truck and headed southwest from the cabin. Is what I tried to say.
Yeah.
And then we headed off to
Elkhart.
To Indiana.
Elkhart, Indiana.
I didn't know if I could say great state of Indiana.
Oh, dude, they got bigger and better deer than we do.
They got a lot of more water than we do.
They do that too. Yes.
And well, it took them twice to get their sign right.
That's right. It did.
They had this really itty bitty sign, and then for those with sight issues, they gave you a really big sign.
That's right.
So, but no, it was a good time. we headed down to see Tred.
That's right. He was down at HL Enterprise picking up his trailer, and we actually snuck in the back door of the factory and
Got yelled at.
Yeah, we did. Got yelled at right away because you pulled up in the back and you're not supposed to park there.
I just parked where Tred was parking.
Well, you're not Tred.
Well, but we had the equipment, so
Yeah.
it was all right. It was all good. And we totally understood, and we just wanted to drop off our stuff. Really.
Yeah. So what they were doing is just finishing up his trailer for this big get off the couch tour that he's taking and going to Alaska. And we went down Tuesday, got in the shop, and they were. If anybody knows Tred, you know how patriotic he is, and that trailer was not going to leave the shop without a flag on it.
No, and that
And it was a job putting the flag on.
it was they basically had. This was in the back of the shop,
Yeah.
and we kind of got a tour of the plant, walking to where Tred's was down the line of the assembly. And when we got to Tred's trailer, finally, this young gentleman here was kind of his gopher, and he basically was doing everything. And in this case, as you see here, he was putting up the flag. And now you got to remember when you do this that everything has to be accessible from Tred's level.
Right.
So,
And you can see Tred sitting there in the corner or sitting off to the side making sure. But yeah, he's got to be able to take that flagpole out of that mount and put it back into that mount when he gets the thing parked.
right, exactly. Tom Gensel says when he started hunting turkey, there was a 4:00 stop.
Yeah, it seemed like I vaguely remember something about
So,
that. So
but yeah, everything has to be within reach. And this was one of the very first things when we got there that we started to see as Tred was kind of buttoning up his trailer because it was done. Now it was just putting in, we were waiting for a couch. And here we are, Tred's giving him to put the flag up. And then as you went into the trailer, they had to make sure that everything was accessible via his hands, or he has some of those little grabber things.
right.
And so it was just amazing to see. And really, and truthfully, knowing his paralysis, he doesn't have any stomach muscles.
Right.
So literally, if he falls over, he doesn't have his stomach muscles to stop him.
Right.
We've seen him a couple of times work the strap that keeps him down in that chair.
Right.
You know, he retightened it a couple times and reattached it.
Right.
But it's just amazing that what this guy is going through. And then finally they got the couch, and then
The couch is for Pepper, though.
the couch is for Pepper. Now there's a queen size bed in that. So
I don't think Pepper cared about the bed or not. It didn't matter. She was just claiming it.
right, you know, before that picture, that spot was just a carpet. She was laying almost in the exact same spot.
Right.
They brought the couch in. And Tred told her to get up there, and that's where she went, and she was happy.
Yep, she fell asleep.
Right, exactly. So, but they were also putting in. Actually, he was test driving the washer dryer.
Yep. Yeah, did a little laundry while we were there.
Yep, and they found an issue.
Yep.
And we kind of saw it right off we saw it right off the bat. You saw it in the pictures, actually.
Yeah.
That the dryer was too high. Mm-hmm. Can't stand up.
Right.
So he was having to try to get it with his little grabbers, but the door handle just isn't right. So they were rigging something up where he could pull the door open and then use it.
I think they're going to drill a hole through the handle and put a piece of rope on it with
They
a
try-
loop on it. Did they try that?
They tried it first with a clip, like a little, you squeeze it and it opens and then you close it.
Yeah.
He did it one time and it busted right in half.
Okay.
So they went back to the drawing board. I don't know what they ended up with, but Tred is able to reach in there with his little grabbers and get the dryer stuff out. Mm-hmm. Now I get a feeling he's going to be losing a few socks in there
Yep.
because he can't see them.
Yep. Yep.
So, but yeah, you know, we started there, and then before you know it, he got hungry.
Yep. Went to lunch with him.
Went to lunch with him, and and now remember, folks, he's driving with his hands.
Yep.
His truck is awesome. That mechanism that they have that slides out and basically elevates him into the driver's seat and gets him there. And then we went to Arby's there for lunch, and yeah, it's just he's going to be taking a long trip by himself, and it's going to be really cool.
You've been following any of the posts along the way? Because he's made 2 posts, I think, since he's left.
I seen one, and you posted it on our site.
Yeah.
And then I thought I saw another one.
Yeah, he's made 2. And he has come to the same conclusion as you and I about the city of Chicago.
Oh, I did not see the one where he commented about Chicago.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So he doesn't like it, but no. And he commented also about the flooding. You know, about the the farm field's being flooded and all that, and about farmers going to be getting into crops late if they get them in at all. So over in Illinois, it's seeing the same thing. And then he made his way up into Wisconsin and took a siesta there at a campground.
Okay, so he found a campground.
Yeah,
and he even it was fun to talk to a guy who really, truthfully, he just looked at us and said, "I got to back this thing up."
Right.
I can't back this thing up.
Yeah.
So we told him, a lot of these campgrounds nowadays are pull-throughs.
Right.
So which would be kind of nice. But, a big shout out to HL Interprise for taking the time. They actually let him sleep in it, I think, on Wednesday and Thursday and
Friday. Yeah,
Friday.
3 nights. He spent three nights in it before he left.
Troubleshooting it, really.
Yep.
They've done, we talked with John Such last week. We met him down there.
Mm-hmm.
He gave us the tour, and we saw this, and it was just, it was fun to be there, watch Captain Tred captaining the ship, so to speak. But, it was really cool to actually, and I had to admit to him, I said, "Tred, I got to tell you something." I said, "You're bigger to me in real life than you are on TV." Mm-hmm. It was amazing. It just, even though this guy's in a wheelchair, and I never met him prior to this, so I don't know what he was like out of a wheelchair, but just his presence was big.
Yeah, and the bravado is
it was like, wow.
Hey, we need to do this, we need to do that, and hey, Mike, come over here. Can you give me a hand with this? And, we were taking care of some stuff. It was really cool.
Yeah, and it
was great to spend. We spent pretty much.
We got there at 11 and we left at
4.
4.
Yeah, so 6 hours.
6 hours with him. Even at lunch, we were doing things. We were just kind of helping him and seeing the trials and tribulations that he's going to have to go through.
Yeah.
And
well, the one thing I realized is he was struggling with a cell phone, and he's like, "Here, help me."
Well, you're the technical guy.
And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, it's an iPhone." Well, first thing I'm looking for is the home key on it, and I'm like, "What? Is this a new phone?" He goes, "Yeah, it's an iPhone 10." I'm like, "Okay, I'm on iPhone 6." I was lost. I couldn't figure it out because it didn't have the home button. Everything was swipe.
And I'm not.
You're not iPhone savvy.
I'm an Android guy, and I'm looking at this thing. He goes, "Well, you just swipe." Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which way? One finger or 2 fingers?
Right. And you swipe it from the bottom, you go home. It was just, we learned.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And we learned on the fly and learned quick.
Yeah.
And then it was just, and then watching him inside his trailer, getting that set up, I'd like to definitely see the picture of when the fly rods are all installed.
Oh, I've got one, but I don't have it here. I don't have it loaded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen that, and it looks awesome.
And I seen one of the gun rack.
I really wish he would have taken one when he stopped for the night the first night and opened it up for the first time, because he said it looked like a bomb went off. Everything was thrown all over the place.
I bet.
Because it's, not tied down. Anything not tied down is taking a ride.
Especially, on a trailer, it's going to be bouncing.
Yeah.
And they just had little C hooks that were going to hold those in.
Yeah.
To me, that I was like, going to have to figure out a different format. But you can't stand up to do that.
Right.
They got to be easy access.
Right.
Just like that gun rack in the back. I watched John going to install it, and I was like looking at it and going, well, you better be able to get to the lock.
Right.
So,
well, the cool thing was watching a factory full of people there, people coming in and out at different times and working along with the main guy running the place, finishing up this trailer and working with him one-on-one, trying to make sure that once he got out on the road, everything was going to work, and everything is going to work for him to where he could use it and reach it and all that. It's just, I'm telling you, man, for somebody that's in a chair that can't stand up and doesn't have that ability,
and that's the most,
it's amazing.
And that's the most important thing, is making it work for him.
Giving people an opportunity to get out and enjoy the outdoors.
Right, exactly.
That normally wouldn't,
I know. It was cool.
Amazing.
It was really cool to see. And you know what? Not one person complained.
No.
They just jumped right in.
Absolutely.
Whether they were delivering the couch, whether they were putting up a hook. Well, of course, the other guy was the boss, so I guess they couldn't complain.
Yeah, exactly. So I tell you what, we're bumping up here on our first break. Let's step outside. We come back. We'll dive a little bit into a trip I took up north this weekend and did a little casting. So we're going to step outside. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has reinvented the way you buy bows.
From now on, you can make the most educated decision possible
by basing your bow choice specifically on your shooting needs and goals.
All you need to do is ask yourself,
What kind of shooter am I? What do I want to achieve?
PSE will help find the right category for you.
So, what kind of shooter are you?
Find out at psearchery.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Second segment of the show. Hanging out in the cabin tonight after a weekend up in the North Country.
Yeah, you had your annual meeting up at your club.
Yep.
So you got to go up there for. I see the trailer when I pulled in. It had some tree stands in it.
Yes.
How did the woods look to you coming out of the winter?
At our camp, everything's greening out. The fields look good. Trees are budding. We don't have full leaves yet. But, yeah, everything's starting to green up. I tell you what, I got up there Friday night. I woke up Saturday morning. I got up at 6:30-ish. Looked outside. Sun's rising over the lake. Beautiful. You know, the steam's coming off the lake. I can hear the geese on the water, hear some ducks. Can see them out there. Looked out the window. Stuck my head out the door. Seen some deer in the field. Seen birds flying. Seen some swans. I was out in the woods. Seen a partridge and then heard another one drumming.
Any bald eagles?
Didn't see any. I was looking though. Yeah, I was looking. Actually, the tree that I normally see them in, at the end of the lake, I looked right for the limb and I didn't see them.
Okay.
So I don't know where they were at, but seen a lot of deer on the way up Friday night. I saw a ton of deer going up Friday night, which is good.
Just on that note, talking to my brother-in-law yesterday, who was up in the area of my cabin, and he said he saw a ton of deer, which, thank you.
Right? They made it through.
Made it through. Man, and they still got snow up there.
Yeah.
I seen a friend of mine picked up his son from Tech.
Okay.
And yeah, they had some big old snowbanks.
I bet.
So that's a good report, real quick, about my brother-in-law seeing deer in our area.
Good.
So you're seeing deer, which is good.
Yep. Saw some turkey.
Good.
What was really cool is I was coming into camp Friday night. Actually, I was still on the main road. I was probably, 2 or 3 miles from my turnoff. And cruising up the road, and all of a sudden I see something on the opposite side of the road, on the 2-lane, running the white line. And it small critter, and it just kind of turned its head, and when it did, it went like, oh no, there's a car or something, you know. It was a red fox.
Really?
And that was cool.
Oh, that's
We don't
awesome.
see red fox. Very, very few times we ever see red fox up in our area. Too many coyotes. So it was really nice seeing that. And then on the way home today, I took the back way out and came through the national forest, and I actually saw another red fox cross the road in front of me and watched him go up the embankment.
Oh.
So saw two.
They were out and about.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That's a cool thing, especially like spring. Things are popping, things are budding, things are.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Right there at work, we've got those big ponds they got there. Well, as you drive down, there's geese laying on their nests. And
yeah, we actually saw the geese out on the island in our lake, and they got a little mad at us while we were fishing.
I'm sure they did. I am sure they did, because it's only because it's great, because at work they're going to put out a notice probably in the next week or two when they start, because some people, a guy I work with got attacked. It's funny, and I warned him. And I said, "Well, what did you think?
What do you think they're going to do?
Right?
That's their babies. Leave them alone."
So, it was cool. So, so you got up there. You saw life.
Yeah,
wild animals.
Spring is popping.
Oh,
and the other thing, last night. Let's see, today's Sunday. Yeah, been Saturday night. Because when I got there Friday, it was already dark. But Saturday night, in the evening, if we get done fishing and sun's set, but it's still, you still see a little light. The spring peepers were cranking.
Oh, yeah.
The little tree frogs. Oh, my gosh. It was so awesome to hear them. And the stars were out. It was just there wasn't a cloud in the sky. It was just beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Talking about cleansing the soul.
Yeah, absolutely. Got that down. And you don't hear traffic.
No.
You don't hear civilization.
No.
But that's awesome. You just get out there and sit on the porch and just listen to nature and let it roll, right? There you sitting on the porch. There you go.
Kicking back.
Right.
This is Saturday evening.
The sun's out.
Yeah, this is a buddy of mine's nephew that was in camp hanging out for the evening, and he called me a few choice names and said, "Get off your
Heine?
Fat rear end," in a roundabout way, and said, "Let's go fishing." I'm like, "Fishing? I ain't going fishing." He goes, "We're going fishing." I'm like, we're not going fishing. There's an hour and a half left of daylight, and I'm tired. No, we're going fishing. I got a few adult beverages. We got a boat. I got the tackle box. Get in the boat.
Get in the boat, dude. We're going fishing.
And I hated to admit...
you had fun, didn't you?
Well, I hated to admit that actually I have never been on our lake in a boat. I've always fished around the shore. I've never been out in the lake and fished.
Or walked on it on ice.
I have walked on it on ice, yeah. But I've never been in a
Really?
boat. Yeah, no, never. So, yeah, AJ, I made him row. I was like, we're going, you're rowing, flat out. So, he picked the tackle. He said, this is what we're going to use. I'm like, okay.
What did you use?
I don't know.
Oh.
Some kind of Rapala. It was green on the top, bright green, neon green, and on the bottom it was white. He was using one that was blue and white.
Was it about this long?
Yeah.
Was it floating, or was it a diver?
No, it was a diver.
Okay.
And then he used one that had a split body.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, did I say a diver? No, mine was a floater. His was a diver.
Okay.
You had to really crank to get mine to dive.
Yes. And then you stop and it floats up to the top.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Yes, you're at a floater.
But yeah, it was just a beautiful evening out. I mean, you can see there the sun. I mean, that's us just getting on the lake. The sun's getting ready to set.
Yeah, like you said, you had an hour and a half. Probably about an hour by the time you got there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So he took us down to the far end of the lake to start.
And let me ask, mosquitoes?
None.
Isn't it awesome?
It is great.
You could be on the lake fishing and no
Yep.
mosquitoes.
But I figured, hey, let's do some trolling while he's rowing. And lo and behold, wham! Who got the first one? Me.
You did. And nice largemouth.
Yeah, and it was a fishing contest. It was whoever got the most fish.
Okay. Now you're throwing them back.
Yep, and didn't keep anything. Everything went back in.
Okay.
So, he set the rules, hey, it's most fish. We're going to see who wins. Well, after I caught this one and put it back in, I said 1-0. He goes, no, this is 0-0. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, it doesn't count if I'm rowing and you're casting and trolling while I'm rowing. And I was like, no, you didn't say anything about those rules.
Right.
So he's moving the goalpost on me, okay?
He didn't want to get nervous.
It wasn't long after that, bam, he gets on the board pretty quick, and it's 1-1.
Now, folks, you got to understand, I've fished this lake, and it is fun.
It is fun.
It is fun fishing.
But this night, we got out there for the first 45 minutes. Those were the only 2 fish that were caught.
Okay.
It was dead. It was just, there was nothing, no bites, no nothing. It was slow. So we went back down to where we put in at, down in the shallow end. And here's number 3. Okay, so he's up 2-1.
Right. Yeah, look at him smiling.
Yeah.
Took his sunglasses off.
See, he finally, after he got on top with 2 fish, he finally acknowledged my first fish.
Oh.
So it took him a little while. And then he got a 3rd fish. And then there was a 4th fish. And
it's 4-1.
Yeah. Well, then I caught one. It was, I don't know, probably 12-incher. It was a little one. He wouldn't even take a picture of it to even show that I actually caught one.
Wait a second. But when you go to the review board to review who's caught what, you're not going to have proof.
Exactly. That's what I said. I said, you're cheating again. See,
you're cheating again.
It was his fishing tournament. He sets the rules. He changes the rules as we're going along, So, yeah. So, I said it was 4-2. He was up 4-2. And then finally, I think he caught 1 or 2 more. And then he wouldn't take a picture of my 3rd fish. And I'm like, take a picture, dude. You got to take a picture. So that's the picture I got going back in the water.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, man, what is up with this?
Nice ref he is.
Yeah, exactly. But the coolest part of the night, we both hooked into one at the same time. We doubled.
You pulled off a double. That's awesome.
So that was pretty cool. Both of us winding up with some nice. I mean, both of those fish right there are pretty good size.
Right, exactly. And you can tell it's getting really close to dark because of the flash of the camera, even.
Right, exactly. So then I was like, okay, enough. Old man has to get in the game here. So then I started catching fish. So it wound up that we were. He caught 8. I caught 6.
8-6.
Yeah, that was the thing. But I said, okay, you may have won the tournament, but I won biggest fish.
Right.
And there's the big boy. That was the last one I caught.
That's a pretty big fish.
Pretty
big mouth on that thing.
That thing took me. Here's another angle. I got 2 angles of this fish. There's one here, and then this one. That's pretty.
So you
good
got
fish.
biggest fish.
I got biggest fish. He said that thing went 3.5-4 pounds, and I
look at the gut on that thing.
Yeah,
I put you in there. Absolutely.
And you want to talk about thick? That thing was thick.
Because they're going to be heading to spawn here soon.
Exactly.
And so, and probably within the next few weeks, I think. And then they'll be on their beds. But no, that's awesome. And that's only in an hour and a half?
Yeah, hour and a half maybe. And really all the action took place probably in the last 30 minutes. I mean, it was just like bam, 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 bam. But that big one, that last one I caught, that fish, it took me 5 minutes to land it. I mean, it worked.
It was fun.
And
it probably took the boat around a little bit.
It did. And I cast, and I'm reeling, and I'm like, feel something, and I set, and I start reeling. I'm like, I said, man, I'm on a snag. He goes, really? I go, it's what it feels like, because it just felt like dead weight.
It felt like a log.
Felt like a log coming, I'm like, yeah. I said, no, wait, it's moving. I got it. And all of a sudden, it come up, and bam, it jumped up. Bam, smacked the water and shook its head. And I'm like, that's right, say no to daddy. Kept reeling that thing in. And he kept jumping and got him to the boat. But that fish fought it was a good 5 minutes.
That's awesome.
And I didn't really want to horse it. I mean, the thing was big, but I was using some lighter line. That's the other thing. He set me up with light line.
An ultralight?
No, it wasn't ultralight, but the actual line was light. Yeah. So I'm like, man, I said, he set me up.
Man, it should be fair. It should be ultralight tackle in that pond, because I know that pond, and ultralight would be a blast.
Oh, it would be. It'd be a hoot.
You'd be bending over your pole and zipping around the lake on your boat. But and
we had a couple. That one and one two he caught. Actually pulled the boat and started steering the boat.
Right,
running
exactly.
on us,
That's awesome. So that is really cool.
But it, when you get a big fish on, I mean, and those other ones, they're probably a couple pounds. I think, other than that little one I caught, they were probably a couple pounds, 2.5 pounds. He caught one probably pushing 3, maybe a little more. It was nice.
Cool. That's awesome.
What a way, the sun's setting. You're out in the boat, having a few drinks as you're running around and on our pond and with a good friend, and you're cheating at fishing.
Right, exactly.
Or he was cheating at fishing.
You're just cheating at fishing, and away you go. But you're having a great time.
Yeah. But the double was probably the coolest thing.
Now, in that lake, bass are primary, right? You've got bass.
We got bass. There is some perch in there that need to come out.
You got a lot of perch in there. I know that. But that makes those bass even bigger, because they got enough food in there.
We got some bluegill in there, and there's also trout in there.
Okay, there's trout in the big one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So.
Because I know because I know there's trout in the other pond.
Yep.
So.
No, it was a great time. It was just a lot of fun. Great way to unwind and kick back and just take it easy.
Absolutely. Just get out there, do some fishing, just
have fun.
And you probably didn't hear another voice or anything on the lake.
Well, you heard us.
Well, besides you guys, but I'm just saying,
laughing and cutting
you didn't
up
have
and hammering.
Have the neighbors, or you didn't have
you didn't hear any vehicles. You don't hear nothing. I mean, you're just out in the middle of the great outdoors.
That's what makes it nice going up north.
It does. It's beautiful.
Getting away from it all. 2.5 hours away, and boom.
And no mosquitoes.
And that's the huge one,
right?
That's what makes spring nice,
right? Yeah, but I was happy. That's the biggest fish I ever caught.
Good deal.
That's the biggest one I've ever put in a boat.
Excellent. Good job.
And we let them all go.
And you let them all go back to be caught another day.
Let them go and let them grow.
And they grow big in that pond.
They do.
That's fun in that pond. Just that pond is good if you want to try things too. You want to try a lure. You want to try, Cody showed us how to use an open bait caster. We tried it right there.
Yep.
And you caught fish with it.
It was a good
made
time.
It cool. Yeah.
It was a good time.
Now you're back here.
So now I'm back here. All right, I tell you what, we're going to step outside, take our next break. We'll be right back after this.
PSE Archery has always dominated the speed category. Now, the most revolutionary cam system ever to hit the market has perfected the shooting experience. Introducing PSE's Evolve Cam System, featuring extremely high let-off capabilities and the smoothest draw cycle in history. No other cam system has ever delivered this level of total comfort and total control. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
Welcome back, everybody. Third segment of the show. Hanging out in the cabin again on Sunday evening. And I got to say, for the people on the podcast, obviously you couldn't see the pictures. And that means you got to go.
Got to go to Facebook.
Go to Facebook or go Wednesday to YouTube. And actually, since Facebook played some games with
Yeah,
things,
we had a little hiccup this week.
So you're going to find 2 shows.
This week you'll find 2 shows. They did it for our benefit, obviously.
I guess.
Right?
I guess. I don't know.
So, yeah, no, it's one of those things. Facebook did an upgrade, and it's like, whoa.
I've heard a lot of complaints about that.
Yeah.
Not heard anything good yet.
No.
Hopefully it all shakes out.
Right, exactly. That's one of the things,
A week or 2, everybody will have forgotten it.
Or something like that, which, you hope people forget. I saw... Do you get the Tri-County Times?
Mm-hmm.
Did you
Occasionally. See? I don't read it, though. It goes in the trash.
Oh.
I just don't have time to read the local
Right on the front page, would you hunt sandhill cranes?
Yes.
And so I said, that's what I said.
Was there a poll with it?
I didn't read the article, but I started flipping through because I wanted to read the comments.
I wish you'd have said that because I'd have put a poll up for this.
And so...
Anybody listening out there, would you hunt sandhill cranes given the opportunity in your state or in another state? Yes or no?
And
just
type
in the comments.
Maybe
yes or no.
we'll run a poll this week, too, on Facebook. But
yeah.
So it started.
Mm-hmm.
Would you hunt sandhill cranes? So the people started giving their opinions in the hotlines.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Uh-oh.
And so it began.
Yeah, huh?
You guys wanted to hunt mourning doves.
Uh-huh.
Now you want to hunt sandhill cranes.
Yes, we do.
What's next? Woodpeckers?
Maybe.
And I looked at...
How about wolves?
I looked at... That was... Okay. Go down to another comment. You want to delist wolves so you can go hunt them.
Yep.
So, reading a comment from Tim. And it was funny to see because farmers can shoot them.
And let them lie and rot because they can't consume them.
Right.
Can't touch them.
Can't touch them. They can only shoot them and let them lay.
Because they're a federally protected bird. They're a migratory bird.
And they're also a nuisance to their crops.
Yep, so that's the reason they can shoot them.
Right. Which I'm thinking about putting a hotline in for next to say, by the way, for those of you that think sandhill cranes are a pretty bird, ask the farmers and just state the fact.
Right.
Fact is they can shoot them and let them lay. Would you rather have somebody shoot them that's going to consume them?
That's right.
Because we heard that they're really good.
Yep.
We don't know because we've never tried it.
We've never had the opportunity to taste them.
Right. And so... kind of the why I brought this up was when you don't know the whole story and you know some of the story or you see it from one side it's a pretty bird that's out in the field and it looks really cool.
Sure.
Or in the pond. Or on our side, we hear the things that happens about whether it be the sandhill cranes being shot and let them lay, or you got farmers with block permits in the summertime shooting deer.
And shooting them, letting them lay.
Letting them lay. Again, wasted
game.
Wasted. My thing is I would really like to see the DNR step up and say, okay, farmers, tell us what night you're going to shoot them, go get them, and take them to
the processor
and get them to a food pantry.
Absolutely.
To shoot and let them lay, it's amazing. But it's funny to watch these hotlines and people complaining left and right about how pretty the bird is or whether you're going to be hunting woodpeckers next and it's like...
And the same person said that about the woodpeckers. If it was over on top of his house beating a hole in his side, he'd be the first person to go out there and use a BB gun or a slingshot or something and try to hit it.
The woodpecker sometimes will end up on top of my furnace stack.
Right.
And peck...
On the metal?
The metal.
Really? On the metal?
Yep.
He's going to town.
The first time it happened, I about came unglued as to what the heck was that. So, but I saw it on the front, and then I started looking at the comments, and it was again all over the board, So, it was just interesting to see the comments about shooting a pretty bird but and I think I will put a comment in there just to throw it out there that says, hey, do you know what the farmers do?
Yeah, you're poking the cage.
Right, exactly.
Poking the bear in the cage.
And that's the thing. Whether it be deer, sandhill cranes, the grouse population, turkeys, we hunt for a reason.
Yeah, turkey population. What brought that up?
Well, no, I'm just throwing it out there. I
thought it was about that comment earlier on Tim's page.
No, I was just throwing it out there as a species that why we hunt them, right?
Right.
And
they taste delicious.
Well, they do, and it just there's a reason for hunting, and it just bewilders me that why don't we just these people want to stop hunting
Yeah.
because whatever. And before you know it, when their garbage or whatever is getting ransacked because whatever, overpopulation of one group or the other.
Oh, it happened in Connecticut with bears when they stopped the bear hunt up there,
Right.
I think that was Sheila Jackson at the time who was up in that state running that deal, and before she went to work for the feds. And when that all happened and come out, I was like, man, I hope the bear population goes in and explodes and they come into the towns and start rummaging through trash and knocking stuff over and making people mad.
Looks like Tom Gensel would like to hunt them and eat them as well.
Yeah, well, it's I know a lot of people.
So it's before the legislature, I think. So we'll have to kind of...
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know if it's actually going to get pushed into a season or not. It'd be nice if it did.
It would be nice. Why not? If it's that much of a nuisance
Yeah.
for the farmers, then let the hunters help
the farmers.
Help the farmers.
Yeah, kind of like we're trying to do with deer.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing. Then the farmer should let the hunter on, which...
Said property.
said property. Which, again, hunting, give it... Chris Kreiner, I saw, wax more yotes. And, you can just tell he's been, I think they said, I think the latest post I saw, they said they got 8 off the property that he was on.
Wow.
It's not going to make a dent.
No.
You hope.
No. It'd be interesting to see what happens this year at our place. One of the guys up at our camp said that he took 16 this year. He thinks it was 16 off our place. So we're going to, like I told you, I had that encounter with 4 packs that one night.
He's up to 16.
Yeah.
Did you hear him?
No, I did not hear him, and I was listening for him.
Wow, you were right out there at prime time.
Yeah. So
you guys could have been they could have surrounded you on the lake.
That'd have been fine.
Just waited for you to...
I'd have thrown a lure at him, hooked him, drug him in the lake.
Yeah, then they would have took off, and you'd have been
Yeah.
going for a ride. But yeah, no. But I thought that was kind of funny in the local paper, just throwing it out there that they brought something up, and so then the people went off the rails.
Berserk. Yeah.
It's just the comments about shooting woodpeckers. It's like, really, really. I do gotta admit, the wife's got the bird feeder up, and it is nice to see the orioles and see the finches and stuff like that, and the 27 squirrels that we possess. And boy, they would be really good to eat.
Yeah. I only saw one squirrel while I was up north. He was fat and happy. Saw 2 trumpeter swans. Well, that was kind of cool.
On the lake?
They were flying over.
Oh, okay.
A lot of geese. Like I said, the geese, there was a pair that got really ticked off because we got too close to we got a little island there, and that's where their nest was. And, obviously we stayed away from it, but you could see where their nest was. So, yeah, they were very agitated.
Maybe we should pop in there September 1st and...
We could do that.
Lay in wait on the bank.
We could do that. It's a good place to hunt, believe me, for waterfowl.
For the first couple days, sure.
It is. It's an awesome place to hunt.
Mikey and Jake did that.
Yep, they did that one year. Yep.
Yeah.
Took home a pile of geese.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm game for that.
Sounds good to me.
I'm game for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I see what you did there. So, but I tell you what, let's go ahead and take our last break. We come back, we'll save the rest of the time for the end of the show and see what's going on here online, if anybody's got any questions. So we're going to step outside and we'll be right back after this.
Acceleration is part of PSE's DNA. PSE pioneered the speed movement. Now they've developed the vapor category to help you find the most powerful bows on the market to fit you.
High speed equates to intense power and building the momentum you need to be successful. Are you a vapor shooter? Find out at psearchery.com.
Welcome back. The last segment of the show. What you looking at?
I'm just looking at online and seeing what's going on, seeing what's happening.
The one thing I did do today before I came home, was pulled a couple stands down. Made my way back home with a couple tree stands. I was thinking, about taking a couple stands off the property and taking them down to Indiana, moving them down there. There's a couple spots I'd like to put a couple. So had enough in inventory up there that I just went ahead and pulled them down.
Okay.
And made my way back home with them. Nothing real exciting about it or anything that shook me or.
How's the trails? Huh? I asked how the woods was. How's the trails? They wet?
No, everything's dry. Yeah, it's dry.
That's amazing because I think our UP got hammered.
But it's sandy up there though too.
Right. You pour a thing of water. It just.
Yeah. everything was good on the stands. No issues with the straps. They've been out all year, and yeah, everything was good. So no complaints. Got them loaded up. Had the Rambo bike up, took that up, and let everybody play around with that wanted to. And actually, John disappeared on it for about an hour.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's so nice out there. My brother just got the grandkids slide put together. See?
Yeah, there you go.
So he disappeared. Imagine that. John jumped on the Rambo and took off for an hour.
Took off, yep.
How do you like it?
He loved it. Loved it, yeah. You know, it's so nice. That's the first time I've had it up there.
Right.
You know, got it off the trailer, jumped on it, took off, rode up to the gate and back on it, and just seeing how it rides in sand. It was no big deal. I mean, it did its job perfect. So no complaints. But yeah, everybody checked it out. It was pretty cool. They're like, as soon as they took off, they're like, "Whoa, this is cool!"
Right.
You know, it was like kid in a candy store. So
well, and especially John. John is not shy about trying new things out.
Hey, we got a question.
What's my brother want to know?
He wants to know how you know when you need a new bowstring. When it breaks, Terry. Good question. You'll start to see. Actually, you know, I got one of my bows here. You'll start to see the string starting to fray. You'll see little strands coming up. It'll look rough.
You look for the wear spots down here where they're anchored. This will start to fray.
Yep.
Different parts of the bowstring, you'll see it start to fray. Or it wouldn't be bad if after a couple of years depending on how often you use it, just to get a new one, because it's probably going to stretch.
Yep.
And you peep rotation.
Yep.
And whatnot that can possibly happen. But then it's time to get a new string.
And you'll see serving separation here too, where they serve the string, where you got the different color here that goes around the cams. You'll start to see in places where it gets put under pressure when it's rotating around that cam. You'll actually start to see some separation. Actually, in this one here, I'm starting to see just the first hint of it right there.
Oh yeah,
you can see the orange peeking through. So
and that's the one you shot. Did you shoot 3D with that?
When?
Last year.
This is what I shot out at the FIDA course.
Okay.
Yep.
So last year you were shooting. Yep. All right.
So, yeah, there's a lot of shots been put through this bow.
Yeah, that's one thing we've been doing the last couple of years. We've been putting a ton of arrows through our bows. And you got one coming back this week from Jim, right?
The target bow?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm leaving it over there until we start getting everything ready to put onto that bow for the rest of the build. And actually, now that I've got 2 of those bows sold, I can actually start getting parts for the new one.
I will be taking my 3D bow over there this week.
Okay.
I'm all set. I just need to put a peep on it. I've got the rest. I've got the sight. I transferred everything off of the Barney bow.
Okay.
And transferred it over to there last night. Got it ready. I'll just run it down to Jim's, throw a peep on it, and let it zip.
Yeah.
So I plan on using I'm going to go with the SD arrows that we used last year.
I'm still not sure what I'm going to shoot.
It's either those or else I'm going to go to, I might throw some Black Eagles down. I don't know. I might try some different ones just to see which ones I feel like.
Right.
Right. It's one thing nice about it is just.
Well, the last couple of years we've shot some different brands, so we've started playing around with that, and why not throw something else in the mix and check it out? So.
And why, Terry, is your tree stand kind of embedded in the tree?
You know what? Speaking of tree stands, that's one thing I did run it a little bit into. Okay, so with the family traditions, they're rock solid.
Yep.
I was by myself. Yes, I was by myself pulling my tree stands down. But I take a lot of precaution, make sure that thing's rock solid. But I've done this so many times with these stands, and yes, you can still slip and fall, and it can still move on you. But as I was going up, I was kind of checking it out and everything, and I start releasing that top strand, top strap first, and you can tell if the thing starts to get a little wonky on you.
Right.
You need to make sure that you got somebody with you. Unfortunately, I didn't.
You didn't, but you really did. They were back at camp.
Yeah.
So you really were totally alone. Were you alone climbing the tree stand? Yeah.
So, but what happens is if it's embedded in there, okay, you've ratcheted it to the tree extremely tight, number one, which you want it tight. You don't want it moving. But that means you've also probably left it out more than one season, full season, strapped to that tree. Right. What I normally do is I'll loosen that strap, and I won't take it down. I'll just loosen it so it doesn't keep pulling into that tree.
Well, eventually the tree will just grow around.
It'll grow around the strap.
And you've seen it with wires.
Yeah. Well, my dad he had a hang-on tree stand that he put into a tree and forgot about. And when we did a logging project about 3 years ago, that was a
Found
section. There was a section they were going through, and it's like, hey, look what we found, and it had grown into the tree. They couldn't actually. They had to cut that section out. They couldn't use it.
Okay.
Because it was left in there.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's being pulled in tight to the tree, and the tree growing and consuming it basically.
Yep, that's what happens. You see it in electrical lines and telephone. It just goes right around it.
Well, I actually saw a picture somewhere, probably on Facebook. I don't know. Somebody had leaned a bike against a tree, and it grew into the tree.
Yep.
Over probably a period of 50 years.
Right, exactly. But it still grew into it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's the thing. And so, yeah, Terry, start taking a look at your strings. Now's a good time to get it into the shop. Mm-hmm. It's a downtime a little bit to get some strings done. It's no big deal.
Yeah, take it into the shop and have them look at it. Yeah, left in the tree too long.
You think?
If that's the case, what I would do, if you can't get the strap out of it, if the strap is actually growing in the tree, take a knife with you, cut that strap, just get rid of it, and get new straps.
A set of straps from Harbor Freight's a lot cheaper than trying to...
Both the ones I took down had new straps on them, and they were from Home Depot, and they were stainless. I think they were stainless steel.
Stainless?
Because they've been in the field for 2 years. I put them on, loosen them, but like I said, I don't take anything out. I just retighten everything back up.
Just lock it back down.
So they've been in the field, and they look like brand new.
That's good.
You've seen the ones I've got in the trailer, and they need to be thrown away because they're just rusted and they're starting to tighten up, and they're hard to maneuver. These I can't say enough of these. These things were awesome.
Yeah, if you're gonna keep them, spend a little bit of money, get the good ones.
Yep.
If you're planning on using them and tossing them in a couple of years, those are. I know I've had a couple of those. That's why I got the big orange ones now.
Yep.
I was tired of I'm getting the good ones.
Yep.
Done with it.
Absolutely.
And then so you brought them home.
Yeah, I had them on trailer. They rode just fine. The only thing I don't like is I don't like laying, because I had to completely break them down.
Yeah, you did.
Because they're so long. So I broke them completely down, and I had all those 3 ladder sections and the seat section. I got them piled in the trailer and strapped down. But all that metal rubbing against each other all the way home, it's going to wear the powder. These are actually powder coated.
Yep.
Which are really nice, but I'm going to have to get some touch-up paint and hit them.
Yep, exactly.
So they don't rust. And I thought of something. If anybody knows anybody that works in the tree stand industry, this would be extra money, but in my infinite wisdom, whatever you want to call it, ignorance, I'm going to throw this out there. Wouldn't it not be cool? Because as I was working on the stands, those family traditions, they're hollow. They're double tube constructed, but they're hollow. And as I was wrenching, pulling, taking a screw off it, the wrench slipped and clang. You hear that clang.
Oh, yeah.
And it vibrates through that tube. What if they just took and shot some foam down that?
Interesting.
Just to deaden that pain.
Well, they got the insulation foam. That's good.
Spray foam. Yeah.
And
just a thought. I might try it on one just to see what it does.
What I'm thinking is we should. You just said it. I had to cut wood to get my other hangout. Yeah, I bet you did. But I think we should try it. Let's get a can of that, shoot it in there, and just try a noise test.
Yeah, because it's just going to expand. You can do it in one section and tap on it.
Right.
But I'm thinking mainly up in the seat area.
Well, everything around
what do you do?
Because
how many times when you move and you take your bow and
exactly. You hit the edge of it, or
you hear ting,
right? Or you got your gun or something, and
I
think that's a good idea.
It's just to keep that hollow ring out of it.
Let's patent
it. All right.
Let's make some money off of it.
Right.
But yeah, so good. Got them home. You'll take those down to Indiana.
Yep, that's the plan.
Take them down to Indiana.
Yep, I got some spots picked out and get them up and get ready for season down there. So
October 1st, right?
Yes.
There you go.
And I'm going to let a little cat out of the bag right now. I think I might have talked to you about this.
Sure.
Visiting my dad next weekend.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're like, what's he gonna do? what's he gonna release?
Oh boy, what cat is out of the bag?
But actually, I'm gonna look at go with my dad to look at hunting camp in Alabama.
Nice.
He's been jonesing to get into a camp down there since he's moved down there, and now the opportunity has arose at this camp that he's been seeking to get into.
Right.
And he's really excited about it. And I'm like, yeah. I said, actually, I'll be down that. I'll be coming back through that weekend. And I said, yeah, let's go look at it. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. Plus, you'll be with your dad.
Yeah, that's right. Go look at a fresh piece of property.
That's a good thing when you go look at property with Dad. Go spend some time in Alabama with Dad.
Yeah, and it gives us an opportunity for late season hunt. That's the other thing. Their season carries on a lot later than Indiana or Michigan.
They go to way into January, don't they?
February almost, I think,
Really?
or a part of February. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time.
So another opportunity, but more importantly, an opportunity to be able to spend time with my pops.
Absolutely, it's always good to spend time with pops.
Yeah, looking forward to that. But no, it was a great weekend, man. It was a really good weekend. Very enjoyable. Time on the water, spending time out in the field this morning. I got up again early this morning in kind of the same scenario, sunrise, not a cloud in the sky. Got out, pulled tree stands down. It felt so good to be in the woods.
It literally felt good to be outside.
Yeah.
You weren't cold. I think you're probably wearing a hoodie.
Yeah.
I walked out and took my hoodie off and went right to a T-shirt, and it was like
it was
about
awesome.
time.
Yeah, about doggone time.
Right.
I stood there in the field, and when I got out of the Jeep and I pulled up to the first stand, and I just stood there, took a big deep breath, and looked up in the sky, and I'm like, "Yep, this is good.
Yeah, that's
Life
right.
Life is good.
It's always good."
So recharge the batteries. But I tell you what, we're bumping up here at the end of the show. Let's go ahead and wrap up the podcast portion.
And we'll wrap up the podcast portion. This week, we'll start our little endeavor with Tred.
If everything goes as planned.
Exactly. There's always
supposed to be Wednesday night.
Right.
What time are we going to shoot for?
I have no idea. We got to start texting him to get him. Because going back to a Tred thing is he just can't stop and be done.
Right.
It takes him time to pull over to get everything set. It'll take him probably a good, I'm going to say probably a good an hour or two just to get that parked, set up.
Settled. Yeah. Maybe longer. I don't know.
Yeah. Because we did the video where we walked around the outside. He's got the leveler, and then he's got the generator in the back. Mm-hmm. It's nice if he pulls into a campground where he can just plug in. Yeah. That'll save him some time. And then, which I'm assuming the campground, it might be on a pad. Yeah. So that'll save him some time.
Right.
Which I hope he does, because all he can do is hit a button.
Right. So we'll see. We'll keep you updated on that. And as he posts, we will share on the Up North Journal page as well. So you guys stay tuned, and hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, we're going to have a special live show come Wednesday night with Tred Barta.
Yep.
So on his Get Off the Couch tour.
Right. Exactly.
So that'll do it for the podcast this week, folks. We'll see you again next week. And don't forget, you can catch us in syndication at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on goodtalkradio.com. This episode was brought to you by PSE Archery,
Scentlock Technologies,
Scent Blocker,
Rambo Bikes,
Hunter's Blend Coffee,
Limb Walker Game Calls,
Stanislawski Releases,
Copper John Sights,
Easy Cut Outdoor Products,
Fourth Arrow Camera Arms,
Wind Sense Hunting Sense,
X-Stand Tree Stands,
Spot Shooters,
Gut Check Indicators,
and Packermax Cultipackers.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe until next week on the Up North Journal.